Hey y'all, today I'm excited to share with you my copycat recipe for Cosmic Brownies, gluten-free of course. If you or your kids loved these little Debbie Wonders, but you can't have them now because of celiac or a gluten sensitivity, I've got you covered. I still have one remaining gluten eater in my house who is my official taste tester. That would be my husband. And he said these blow away the original, y'all. So let's get into it and I'll show you how to make them. This brownie recipe is really easy, y'all. You can make it in a large mixing bowl with a whisk or a spoon. But I'm using my stand mixer, of course, because it's always here. And I got my new one. So add 12 tablespoons or 170 grams of melted butter to the bowl, and then a cup or 100 grams of unsweetened cocoa powder. And then I'll just mix these two together into like a paste. Now, I used regular natural cocoa powder with a little bit, and it was only about like 25 grams of my black cocoa mixed in, y'all, because I ran out of the natural cocoa powder right in the middle of making these, and I wasn't about to stop everything and run to the store just to get one thing. I am not like that. But any cocoa powder will work, including Dutch process. So I think I only used, like I said, about 25 grams of the black powder anyway. I'll add 3/4 cup or 150 grams of granulated sugar and a half a cup or 100 grams of light brown sugar. And then I can't forget vanilla extract, about a tablespoon, give or take. And I need to make sure my vanilla beans don't go flying in there because I need to make some more vanilla extract. And then I'll add in 2 eggs at room temperature, and of course one at a time, mixing in between each just until the other one disappears before adding the second one. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. So I'll stop the mixer at this point and I'll grab a sieve and sift a cup or 140 grams of my gluten-free all-purpose flour blend. That's Kim's gluten-free all-purpose flour blend. You'll find the recipe for this on my website. Directly into the bowl I'm sifting it, and then I'm just going to mix it with a spatula. You can also do this on the mixer too, y'all. You don't need to be gentle with it. It's not like you have to fold it in or anything. I just have a habit of immediately putting my beater blade into some soapy water so I wasn't going to pull it out and wash it all over again. Y'all know how much I hate doing dishes, right? Okay, this looks good. It's a really thick batter, y'all, so just be patient with it when you spread it out into all the corners as best you can. An offset spatula really makes this easy. As you can see, I've lined my 9x13-inch baking pan with parchment, and then I used some clips just to hold it up. And just get this as smooth as you can. I'm being extra meticulous just because I need pics in a video, but you don't have to be super meticulous. It's not absolutely necessary. They're still going to taste insanely good. All right, I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. This will go into a 350 Fahrenheit oven for just 10 to 15 minutes, no more than 15. Check it at 10. It might need another like 2 minutes or so. It's a really thin brownie, so it doesn't take long at all, y'all. But while that's baking, we'll get all the chocolate fudge glaze ingredients ready because this step goes really fast. This glaze recipe is adapted from Erin over at Cloudy Kitchen. I've got 2 cups or 250 grams of powdered sugar and 1/4 cup or 25 grams of cocoa powder here. And I'll just sift these into a large bowl. Most of the copycat recipes for these brownies I found all made a chocolate ganache for the top, and I love ganache, but I knew it was just not right. If you've ever had the original brownies, the original Cosmic Brownies, you know these were not ganache topped. So this is more like a quick and easy chocolate fudge that's just not cooked on the stovetop because we use boiling water. So I will add 4 tablespoons or 56 grams of softened butter that I'm just breaking up into little pieces here, and I'll toss them through. And I'm going to set this aside, and I'll get my brownies out of the oven. And as you can see, a toothpick inserted into the center. It came out clean, but it's okay if it does have a little bit of crumbs attached to it. Just don't go any more than 15 minutes or they will be dry. All right, I'm going to set this aside now and let it cool just briefly while I go back to that glaze. I'm going to put my bowl right on my scale and pour in 60 grams, which is 1/4 cup, of boiling water right into the powdered sugar mixture. And by the way, y'all, you can sub that with coffee. I didn't try it on this particular recipe, but I've done it before and it works perfect. Really brings out that chocolate flavor. Now just get this mixing until the sugar melts down a little bit. And now I'll switch to my whisk and really give it a good whisk. Make sure all that butter gets melted and incorporated in. Now the thing about this is it really sets up pretty quickly. So make sure you're ready. That's why I said get this all ready beforehand so you can get it on your brownies as quickly as possible. And the brownies are still hot. I'll just pour this glaze directly over the top. And I'm going to quickly spread it because, like I said, it does set up fairly quickly. And again, I'm using an offset spatula because it works the best. And I've got my candy-coated chocolate chips here. I'll leave a link for where you can find these on Amazon. The ones I have here are currently unavailable, but there are a few different brands, and they've all, at least the ones I found, have been labeled as gluten-free. And just sprinkle them like willy-nilly all over the top. And make sure you do this within a few minutes at least, or they're not going to stick because, like I said, the glaze sets pretty hard and pretty quick. So they'll just be running off the top if you don't do it pretty quickly. Now here comes the hardest part, y'all. Refrigerating them until they're easier to slice. So I'm going to give it a few hours. Several hours later, actually the next day, I'll show you how I cut these. I'm going to mark every 2 inches here on the bottom, and then I'll do about every 3.5 inches on the side here. This is my really long chef's knife, as you can see, that my dad got me from Cisco many years ago, and I just love it. I've had it forever, and I love using it especially for stuff like 9x13s because it's like the longest knife, I think, that's good for cutting stuff like this. So if you have a really long knife, try to use that. And then if you want, as you cut, you can wipe off your knife between each slice. Again, not necessary, but you know, for really clean slices, you'll definitely want to do that. I'm just using my wet paper towel here. But even with marking, I'm still a little wonky, but who really cares, right? It's all good. The scraps are for anyone who wants them. Don't worry. In this house, they won't go wasted. My husband's been dying for me to cut into these since yesterday, because he knows how good they are. Now I'm just making a little mark down the middle of each because that's what the classic Cosmic Brownies look like. Totally optional again, but it's super easy to do. I've got a skewer here and I'll just press it on where I marked just a little bit and kind of twirl it around just to release it. And there you have it, y'all. Gluten-free Cosmic Brownies. Let's taste them. Look, even though it's really thin, it's still fudgy as can be. I really don't recall the packaged ones being this good. Fudgy, not dry one bit. And that glaze, y'all, it's so much better than a ganache. A ganache would just make them a little too rich, I think. The glaze kind of balances the richness of the chocolate in the brownies. Oh, and that little bit of crunch from those candies on top is just so appreciated. They're perfect, y'all. Enjoy.